Alright.
Ho- Hopefully she makes it on time.
So,
It's 10 minutes late, so.
we have Wave the Drunken Fist. Oi, roll call. Drunken Fist,
I said yay.
Dragonborn.
Which one?
Yes.
Okay, here.
Tinker.
Here.
The one with the V.
Hi. What?
Half elf.
I'm assuming that's me.
Which one?
Not you.
I would like
You
to be
have,
referred as Bagpipes McGee.
No, you're just
And then we
Buckethead.
The
Bucket.
Sorry.
Bucket
we
thrower.
already know you're here.
Also, Grape, I made a great discovery yesterday. Apparently, buckets cost about 5 copper pieces a piece.
Yeah.
So I could buy a good few thousand buckets.
You could definitely buy a few thousand buckets.
How I carry them is another problem, but I could, and I will.
Just a stacked fucking tower.
I just
you
have a
walk
bag of
along the-
holding filled with buckets.
Instead of the
Okay,
crab robot, you just have a robot made of
See if I
buckets.
can mount any buckets he has.
It's just like, how many buckets do you have? I work at the bucket factory.
Okay.
Oh, Behemoth is streaming?
Yeah, I'm streaming this.
Oh.
Hello, people of Twitch or whatever.
Yeah, there's like...
Really take this link and I'm gonna post it elsewhere.
Oh, jeez.
This is not gonna go terribly wrong.
No, this is gonna be fun. We're standing in front of what? An undead overlord?
We don't know what it is. It's Mr. C now. He's not Mr. Cup anymore, he's Mr. C. We need to have some respect.
Where was the respect when he was like, wait, what? It's hypocrisy.
Jeez, it's very weird to look at this in full HD.
What's weird to look at in full HD?
My stream.
How is it weird to watch your own stream full HD?
Because I'm not used to it being this good a quality. Because whenever I play another game, I need the headroom and
You used to
performance.
seeing yourself.
Oh, I have retrovision. I only see it in like, what? I don't know, 320 by 180 pixels.
So, as we wait for hope, I believe we'll ring it in. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the session. We currently have our party surrounded by stone, decay, and a very large skeletanoid figure. So, if we're all ready, I will start the recap of what happened in the previous session. So, as our party, our intrepid adventurer, last left off, finding themselves almost betraying that of which had once, paid them and hired them to retrieve something of stolen property. After stealing such a thing back and causing some sort of a rather large ruckus upon the estate of one Lord Blaine, after retreating into the swamp upon the instructions of a rather exasperated cup, or chalice, as the others had referred to him as.
That's a cup.
Returning this chalice to the place of which it commands, this sunken tower inside of the swamp, rotted and decayed, covered in moss and 7 layers of vine the stone crumbling and old. Traveling beneath it, finding themselves back into a familiar winding set of stone walls, almost in a dungeon-esque manner. The air cold around, as finding the familiar ashen pale gray figure writing at his desk. As it turns to look at you, some conversation has ensued. After some retrieval of just exactly what has gone down. They're finding themselves in some essence of following. Going through and going through and finding some sort of a condolence for themselves and for this cup as they travel deeper and further into this dungeon. The air around them growing colder as these almost etchings and foretold almost prophecy marking along the walls of two-headed demons, undead marching in legion and droves, zombies pulling apart humans, until finally coming to a large room about 50 by 50. Before them, a large goblet of just about the size of what seems to be a large oil barrel of fire, producing a greenish purple, almost illuminescent. As this ensues and the chalice is returned, dropped into the fire and smoldering, turning to a bright ash, which then swirled with almost a magical wisp. After returning itself into the form of this giant sleeping figure on this undead throne, before finally seeing some essence of movement in the fingers, detaching themselves audibly from this almost decrepit body. As it started to sit up, taking a large inward breath, looking down over your party, you see this large skeletal grin curling across its face. You see as it starts to stand near him, this essence stands 3 to 7 hands, like at least 3 to 7 heads above you. This is a very large figure. As it starts to stand, and it places its hands outward, almost in its essence of greeting, you see his one eye flares with a green light, dull, but still seen. The left eye, almost barren, except for a green inlet gem emerald. As it stands before you, it says nothing, but it smiles at each and every one of you. As we pick up, what would you like to do?
Can I start calling him Green Sands?
You can if you
Oh.
wish.
Oh no.
Ay, ay, ay.
Well, just awkwardly stares up at him and just goes, I guess Mr. Cup is not so appropriate now. What about Mr. C? Can I call you Mr. C? You look like a Mr. C.
You see the same almost exasperated look as the eyes with this grin beneath it start to fall as it realizes who starts to speak.
Just going to back up a little bit.
Same
That's
with
his own
Naren.
fault.
Rowan is still standing behind Niram, backing up as he does.
No. I think
Mm.
this is your problem. And he just gently
Ryoka
pushes him
stands
forward.
there. Ryoka just stands there, fists on her hips, and just looks up at him. She's just like, "So, where's my money?"
You
Now
see the
it
look of
just
exasperation
starts.
Looks back to you. See the face no longer smiling. The essence of this
You know, we don't need a
face
reward.
very bland.
We're good. We're good. We're good.
Are you scared?
Yes. Are you not?
Just sit on his shoulders and watch him try to grab you. It's funny.
Your voices bore me yet again.
Okay.
I come to thank you, and yet you still find the essence of speaking in my presence, almost to hear the sound of your own voice.
Not my
I
fault. My voice
grew
sounds better than yours.
tiresome.
Okay, I think this is one of those times where you really need to watch what you say. And I'm not saying this as to be of an ass, but come on.
I don't know what you're talking
Do I
about.
know anything about like creatures of this nature?
Go ahead and make a history check.
Good, I'm proficient in those. Where's my character sheet here? So that's a 26.
Does this character never fail either?
No, this character has failed on a few occasions.
Looking at the figure before you, you see many implements of almost mummification. You see bands of almost covered over with almost like a grafted skin, but you see beneath it there seems to be some sort of semblance of almost oiled bandages. You see the cloaks and jewelry surrounding it looks to be very almost eccentric and expensive. The entire essence of this looks almost like a mummified corpse, like an ancient mummy you would find, like someone treating a king to be buried. However, it seems this one was expected to reawaken. And looking at this, you, from your studies, know of these. They are either very powerful practitioners of the necromantic arts, or they're cursed. There are other implements of how this might happen, but you're unaware of them. I mean, you can think of some other opportunities for this to arise. However, it is unknown to you at the moment.
Yeah, just to let you all know, I'm pretty sure it would not be a good idea to piss this guy off, in lack of better
Yeah.
terms.
And just a moment. See me looking at him. That's to say, it seems well enough that you've been formed back. It
I
was,
need
I
you to
presume?
speak up there, Viantis.
Shit. Well, now, granted that little conversation aside, I guess it's good to see that you are no longer a piece of a cup, I assume. So that is well and good.
See the eyes of this large being just keeps following the conversation, just growing more and more frustrated in its expression. You see the neutral face growing into a frown, as its hands go from that of an outward welcome, curling back inwards, almost folding in on themselves. And it watches. I must say, as interesting as your character intrigues are, you are starting to bore me. And that is not something that I take in the lightest.
You know, if we're boring you, we can always leave.
See, as he finally, this figure takes a step forward. You see as it steps a bit off the throne. Takes another step.
Back in the shit up from this guy. I'm
And
like
Ryoka
up against
decides
the
that this
wall.
is a good time to start moving away.
I am backing up as well.
No.
Yeah, Nerve also just
as you
shuffles
both
backwards.
start retreating, I would like you both to make a wisdom saving throw.
God damn it. Where's my character?
Am I in this equation or no?
Since you're moving back, yes, I said you and Ryoka, since you're both moving
Okay.
back.
So,
Give me a second.
No whammies, no whammies, no whammies.
Oh, that sounds very fun.
Darren took my luck. I may or may not have rolled a 1, aka a 5.
I rolled a 11.
As you all start moving backwards,
I rolled a 15.
you feel your muscles just start tightening. And as you take one more step, your body just freezes. You are unable to move any portion of your body except your eyes. You can still look around and you can hear and breathe, but you cannot move.
Speak either.
Where do you think you're going? I thought you had said you requested your...
Are we still able to speak?
No.
Okay.
You are currently stuck in whatever position you are frozen in. You watch as the figure takes another step, but almost as if it's levitating. You see as it takes a step off the pedestal, it stays at the same height. So as it walks forward, it's almost like as if walking on air. And he steps forward to you to where he's maybe about 5 feet away from you. And he looks over the party. Looking at his figure now this close, you see the figure is maybe about 7'3". And that's on the lower estimate.
He's a foot and an inch taller than me.
As he looks over all of you, especially you in the back, his eyes find his way back over to Niram. And then to you, Volus. And he actually extends his hands out, almost as if he's casting a spell. And as his hands flick over, you see two little globulets of light, just about the size of a small pearl, appear into his hand. His left one towards you, Niram, his right towards you, Volus. And as he removes his hands, you see as the two bulbs continue floating. Take these and be off. If I have more use for you, I will let you know. However, it seems you are less and less important to the story as time goes on. So I recommend, if you wish to keep my bargain, that we do not have any interaction past this point. And you see him wave his hand again, and Ryoka, Rowan, and Zoram, you all feel your bodies return to itself as your shoulders shrug, and kind of taking a deep breath and stretch out slightly.
Well, it was a pleasure working with you. I
It's
won't
a
get
good
the
time
hands
to
of
pickle.
fate spell because I still am curious about that offer, but maybe if we ever encounter again.
So, do you take the little pearl of light?
Yeah.
I suppose
As
Nerve
you-
does as well.
As you reach out and grab it, it almost feels like almost like a fire in your hand. It feels warm, almost like it's a heated stone, hot to the touch, but not hot enough to make you burn your hand. As you grab onto it, you look down at it. You don't know what to do with it, but you just kind of roll it around in your fingers. It seems interesting. You both, holding in your hands, looks to be just about the size of a pearl, is a small bead of light. And as this is said, you watch as he points his finger out to the left and then to the right. And you watch as the stone of the walls grinds inward and then moves to the side. You hear his almost in-beat footsteps. As they start encroaching into the room. You see these skeletal figures made of different types of precious metals and gems. You see some look to be made of ruby, some emerald. You see one that almost looks to be made of obsidian and stone. And as it files from these openings in the walls, you watch as they almost start to form small ranks at each side, as if presenting before a ruler or a king. And they stop and watch as they stop, they almost seem motionless, as if suits of armor. Except the heads make an audible grinding sound as they all look towards you. You get the sense you're no longer welcome.
Is doing that kind of soccer mom speed walk straight for the door.
So as you turn around and just beeline it out, you watch as the heads that were looking at you then shift and start looking at the others who have yet to leave the room.
Rowan follows straight after her, not walking, just sprinting out of there.
Iris does the same.
Just gonna make my way out.
Valis, is that a sign that we should leave? Because I think that's the
I
sign
think
that we
this
should
is
leave.
about-
Yeah,
I
okay.
guess so. He does offer a dip of his head, at least as he did get that orb, towards the. I can't really say cup now. Towards this lich-like being before making his way out. Though he wasn't sprinting away or anything. He was just casual walking away.
You
So
see
as you turn and casually walk your way out, the little heat from this little pearl of light in your hands seems to almost reminisce, and as you leave the room, you almost feel a little, almost like a static energy just puffs into your hands and into your body. But you don't feel any different. Near him, the same thing happens to you as you pass the threshold of leaving the door.
Okay, this is weird, but oh well. It's magic. And he just turns back and follows the others.
Alright, so as you turn about and continue following out, as you look to where the small pearl of light was in your hands, you see almost what looks to be a black spot into your hand. You see it's almost as if this flesh has decayed. But it's still there, it's still living. And you touch it, and it's almost as if it's not there. It's like your skin is still there, even though you can see almost the bones into your hand. You put your finger to it, and you still feel your outward flesh, your skin. And Velis, as you look down, you see the exact same thing. However, as you try and do it, the exact same thing happens. You find flesh.
Well, this is an odd gift.
Yeah, I was
Looking
about
over
to say,
the
pretty weird.
Well, hopefully we live long enough not to look at this. He says, though he seemed more curious about it rather than afraid, at least initially. But he digresses. I guess we have to go look for the others. Hopefully they didn't already take the boat out. He says towards Narum rather casually.
Yeah, but we shouldn't let them wait this long. Kind of already made them wait, what, like 2 times? Was it 3?
Our fault they keep taking us out here.
So,
Well,
Niram, as you and Volus exit the room, you just watch as the rest of the party is currently making their way as quickly as possible without looking like panicking, making their way out of this small, almost tomb-like structure. As you look to the left and right, you see something you hadn't previously seen. To the cages in the right lining the wall, the darkness that seems to have ensued there almost seems replaced. You see is almost as if it's living, moving. You see a humanoid figure gripping the bar, looking at you with these pearl gray eyes, watching you from behind the bars. You see as the figure who has been writing with no quill or paper is still doing so, looking straight ahead. But as you pass, he seems to look up, almost recognizing you, and gives you a nod, both of you, and then continues writing.
He nods back and, of course, respect. So,
Narum just waves.
Rowan is trying to very valiantly not shit his pants.
So,
Another
as you
brave.
all manage to ascend this iron ladder, climbing back to the top of this sunken tower, as you do, and looking about, nothing seems different. Everything seems fine. And then the humidity and the sounds of the outside buzzing of insects, croaking of frogs, and another feeling. However, you can't place it. It just seems awry. As
Rowan
you,
would just like
yeah.
to sprint over to the Joseph and Johan and just go and just start going, go, 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 go.
Yeah,
Go,
you
go.
all watch as Rowan just immediately turns and bolts himself out the door. As he does, you just see him running his way through the mud and muck, and he just pretty much dives into the boat. And go, go,
I
go.
turn towards the others and go, I don't care if you want to stay or not. If you don't hurry up, I'm leaving without you.
Calm your tits, she says as she just gets on the boat and sits down.
What's got into him? He seems so weird now.
He's scared.
Oh, that's everything. Jeez. And Narum just
Wait,
waltzes
man.
over.
So, as you all, more calmly than Rowan, make your way back towards the boat with Johan and Joseph. As you do, they both look at Rowan as, what the hell have you seen? Rowan is practically pale. He's doing the best is to look constipated, but it's failing him. And as you all mount back onto the flat barge of the swamp boat, and it starts pushing and heaving its way back as Johan and Joseph both pulling out these meter-long, almost 9-10 meter long rods, sinking them into the marsh, and then pushing the boat off. You see as Johan, the big man there, built like the brick, almost like a brick shack, continues going through and doing his usual, pushing the boat through the murky water. As you all make your way back, takes about the usual hour and a half to sink your way through the swamp, until eventually re-arriving back to the small port on the side town that you are becoming familiar with. It just seems different. Something is different and off, but you can't tell what.
Would it be possible, like, while we're on the boat, for Zorm to kind of, without letting the other two, Johann and Joseph, hearing, would it be possible for him to kind of like slowly like relay and quietly relay what Mr. Cup was?
Certainly. Go ahead and recite the tale of what you believe Mr. Cup had turned himself into.
So, like he's just gonna relay like the information all base like of it could have been like if he's said that he was a sorcerer, then chances were he was someone who has turned himself into a very powerful undead. Essentially, is pretty much the gist of it.
As you explain this, see a couple of them realize what's going on. They seem to understand your words. Some of them possibly not taking them fully to heart. You seem to get your point across. As you all disembark from the boat, as it starts to heave to, as the Johann and Joseph both start dismounting, keeping the boat steady and starting to tie it back to this dock. And as you all look at it, you finally realize what seems to be off. Everything seems to be dark. It's like somebody had taken the lights and dimmed them. You're not sure why.
What time is it, more or less?
It's maybe about 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Rowan just jumps off the boat, looking around, just goes, "We need to get out of here. We need to get out of here. We need to get out of here."
We go. Wait, no,
Just
we still gotta
somewhere.
talk to that
We just
pirate.
go.
Would
Yeah,
I be
look- oh,
able
sorry.
to recognize if this is in some way magical?
Go ahead and make an Arcana check.
I'm gonna go grab a bowl of cereal.
Okay, you go
Okay.
do that. Okay, so that is 13 plus... What is my Arcana? Plus 6, so that's 19.
19. Best you can tell, doesn't seem to be magical. It might be, but this is definitely not natural.
Nevermont, I would like Nerum to look into the sky. Does he see any clouds? Is it like particularly hung over?
Make a perception check.
All right. That is a 15.
15. As you look about, there is not a cloud in sight that you can see past the canopy.
That's weird. Looks so dark. Thought we'd have clouds today. It's probably nothing too bad, is it now?
We're all gonna die.
Maybe it's just getting a little bit late. Sometimes the days get darker, usually. He's
Yeah,
kind of
maybe.
referencing to like a how solstice works or something.
Daylight
But he wasn't too
What's
sure
worse
on
is
what
that-
season it was.
What's worse is out of character. I know what is going on, and I hate it, but in character, I don't know what's going on.
I have no idea what's going on in general.
Dare spoil it, boy.
Yo, same.
You know what it is as well, or
No, I don't know what's going on.
Why can I just see Ryoka just standing there with like a freaking like a potato, just standing next to the group? I don't know what's going on. Just chomps into it.
I would like to run towards the carrot.
Never know. Anyways,
Should we go back
Val,
to like the main town to talk to that guy that is the reason why we're here in the first place?
Yes, please. Let's. I want to put as much land between that thing and me as possible.
So wait, you
I do
wanna go back to Raito?
To the pirate? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I mean,
mean,
we
I
gotta tell him the
guess.
job's done.
technically, his task has been done for quite a while. So,
I suppose. Also, we need to get this carriage back.
Val's kind
Who said
of
that we
looked between
needed to
his
give the
hand
carriage
and
back?
then the party.
Come on, it's a loan.
Anyways, Val just looked between his hand and usually the party, at least while they were heading back to the main town. He does have the sense of a bit of unease just for the fact that maybe that sorcerer might do something. But in any case, he was still curious. Looking back at what he still has one of the tombs, but he doubts he's gonna read it in situation.
On the way to the I suppose we're going to the carriage, aren't we?
Yeah.
Rowan certainly is.
Yep.
On the way, Naren would like to pull Valis aside, just for a second, and not like trying to hide anything. So I kind of think I
Yes, Ned?
understand why he gave you that power thing, but do you know why he gave it to me?
Maybe because you weren't annoying.
Well, judging by how at least we've all treated him, I can only presume that you and I were the least that annoyed the ever living shit out of him, to put it in the latest term.
How did I annoy him? I was there for like maybe few minutes with him.
Yeah, okay, I think that makes sense. But did that do that weird hand thing to you as well?
Kind of shows him his hand to Nerim, though wonders if he can actually see it. Or is it just to us? DM.
Make a perception check.
Can everyone see his hand? Okay. Perception.
Actually,
What happened to
yeah,
them?
would I be able to see this?
You can certainly try.
1 second. Perception. This plus 4. 14.
And what is it exactly that you're looking
He's wondering if he could see Nerim's, also his weird hand mark, just like Valis's.
It's hard to tell. Niram is a relatively black dragonborn. Looking at it, it's hard to tell. It's hard to distinguish. It's not even really knowing what to look for. It's interesting to try and find out where it might. But it's other than that, it just looks to be as normal.
Wait,
Can I hear their conversation?
I mean, Naren at least is not trying to whisper, so
He's not being particularly quiet, but he's not like shouting.
I guess if you wanted to listen, and you could.
Yeah, Zorom's gonna listen in on this. Call it morbid curiosity.
So, I guess you know what I'm talking about, right? Valis.
Again?
You know what I'm talking about with that weird hand mark thing. whatever.
Yeah, of course, he understands about that.
Okay. Just wondering. Doesn't seem to be like a hole. Like you see him literally poking his hand with his other finger at the spot where it like is. At least where he sees it. But other than that, he's just like suppose there's nothing to worry about.
Ryoka goes over to them and she's like, wait, what happened?
So he gave us these pearls, right?
Right.
And once we left the room, at least for me it was, I don't know if it was the same for him, seems like it. It just made a mark on my hand, but for some reason I don't think it's like real, it's just illusional or something, like some magic-y thing.
So is the pearl gone? Is the real question.
I mean, is it, or do we still have that pearl-like stone?
As far as you are aware, the pearl is gone. It dissipated once you crossed the threshold.
Yeah, kind of just poofed, I guess.
Well, that ain't much of a reward now, is it?
I have no clue. Only thing I know is now this thing is on my hand, and I don't know what to do about it, but I guess it's not that bad. I mean, it could have just burned a hole in my hand. Could have been worse.
Can I try to see if I can see the mark on his hand?
Great. I need to be right back for about 10 minutes.
Fine. If Niram wants to be full and open about it, I mean, you can see his hand. It doesn't seem to be a visibly noticeable mark.
But can I see the mark? Or at least try to see it?
As I said, as far as you can see, there just seems to be his normal hand.
If you want,
Shrugs and gets on the cart.
Well,
Zorm's gonna get on the cart and he's gonna say to him, if you want, I can take a look at it. I can take a look at the hand if you want.
I mean, maybe later, but for now, I think I need to drive a cart.
Alright.
Rowan's already sitting in the front, reins in hand, just ready to go the moment everyone gets on.
Are you alright?
No? Can we go?
I mean, yeah, but you're kind of sitting in the front seat.
Yes, get in the back.
Okay, I guess.
Get
Sure.
in the back.
Alright. You don't need to shout.
Kidnapping a dragonborn, just get in the back.
Jeez.
Get in.
Ronan upside the head to like snap him out of it.
Walk up and bam! Kind of. Rowan, you're not really sure, but all of a sudden you just look over and you see Ryoka standing there, and then she just bam! Right across the side of the face.
Calm your tits.
Call me your own. They're still there. I want to get out of here.
I was waiting for that.
Of course they're still here. What? She smacks him again for that comment.
And there's another whack, and it comes back around with the backhand as you state your comment.
I am back.
Hey. So, as you all remount back onto the cart, as
The
you
moment the last person steps on, I just whip the reins and just try to get the horses to get moving.
all right, so as you do so, make an animal handling check.
Watch me roll on that one. Where'd my dice
It's so
go?
funny. It's like the car stalls.
So Niram's in the back right now, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Hey, guess what? It was actually a fucking that one.
You jinxed it.
Congratulations.
So as you look over and just kind of and try and get the horses to go, because with your impatience, you kind of strike too hard, And as you do, you kind of almost send a warning, like a stop warning to the horses, and the horses just look back and give you a confused look as you just kind of go, and it doesn't seem to move anymore.
Panic is
Ryoka
panic.
looks at Ronan and is just like, move over. Give me the reins.
While Narum is in the back, I would like to spend some time trying to cast Detect Magic.
Certainly. As you look over Nurem's hand and you cast the spell, you do see a small, almost ugly purplish brown, about the size of a pearl, inlaid into his hand.
Would I know what kind of magic this is?
None that you can tell.
I have seen some magic, but I haven't seen this before.
I mean, have you seen the dude? Seems kind of old.
And fucking scary. Ryoka, hurry it up!
I mean,
You didn't give me the reins. What?
he isn't that bad. Come on, you kind of did annoy him a lot, but you know,
Me?
kinda, I guess. Not good at.
To be fair, you
sits
all
down
did.
with the reins and
To be fair,
tries
you
to
all
get the
called him
horses to
Mr.
go,
Pepper.
whipping the reins.
If I was stuck in a cup, I'd be pretty pissed off if someone called me Mr. Cup all the time.
Well, he didn't give us a name.
I mean, they both got
Technically,
bad
it's
points.
Something
Oh,
you would
damn
give
it.
out if in his position.
Ryoka now with the reins, she tries to get the cart to go.
Make an animal handling check, please, as you take the reins from Rowan as he hands over. Just go, come on, go. We need to get out of here.
Dirty 20.
All right. So as you take the reins from Rowan, you just kind of look at him and kind of give it a slight gentle, and the horses kind of stop their look of confusion and look back forward, and they continue. You see as they hesitantly step forward, and then they continue moving. But it's a just gentle start, nothing like a jerk, but definitely starts pulling off.
Ryoka,
She looks over her shoulder. Yes.
would you mind passing me one of your throwing darts?
Sure. She reaches into a pouch on her pants and pulls out a dart and leans back as she's holding the reins to hand it to him. Like reaching into the back seat to backhand your child. No, I'm just kidding.
He's gonna take it, and I would like to spend some time trying to enchant this with returning weapon.
All right.
Is anyone else seeing the dice here just flip out?
Yes.
Just bouncing through the table?
I think it's because those dice are attached. Oh my god.
All right. So as you hand the reins back over to Rowan, looks back over and they seem a bit upset that you've handed it back to him.
I
But
didn't hand the reins back to him. I handed
Oh,
my dart to
I had thought you had said so.
Aaron.
I apologize. But you do take the dart out and you hand it back to Zorm. And so, what do you, as Zorm, as you receive back this relatively thick dart, maybe about 3 inches in length? It's a very, almost weighs about, say, like maybe 2 ounces. It's a thick steel dart, definitely made for going through armor and being able to be thrown. What would you like to do with it?
I would like to enchant it with returning weapon.
Okay. that would take you just about an hour to do. You're familiar with the spell. You've done it enough to know where it's like, okay, you're an older person. You're an older dragon, but you know what you're doing. It'll take you a little bit of time just kind of enchanting the weapon, but other than that, it should be easy to go. So, as this goes on and you focus inward in this almost like a circuit with a battery and a light bulb, and you see is this almost bluish red arcane energy flowing through your hands into this dart and then continues around almost in a circuit. It continues until you see just about an hour later as this dart starts pulsing, almost in a soft, magical orb. But you do eventually get that to work. Now, the rest of you, as the elements of the cart pulling you all along takes off, you're about an hour into it when you finally see Zoram finishes with the dart. Now, as this ends up happening, you all realize you don't really have a destination. However, if you want to make one, you can, because the direction you're going leads to both Lord Blaine's and Point's Drop. It might be hazardous for you to go in that direction.
I do believe we're heading to Point's Drop, since that's like our last objective,
Yeah,
is to go back to the pirate captain and tell him we spoke to Lord Blaine.
and told them to fuck off.
Yeah.
Alright.
In
So-
the meantime, Ryoka starts humming a shanty.
You go right ahead and go on humming your shanty. So, as you continue along, it's just about, as I said, about 3-ish, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. As time goes on, it becomes further and further into the evening. The cart pulls along through the muddy and mucky road. Notice the horses are getting tired as usual because they're pulling you guys through swampy terrain, and this is not pretty much your stone cobbled road. Now, as it just becomes maybe about 8-ish, 9 o'clock in the evening, it's dark out. And you see it's about a full moon up ahead. And as you look over, it's odd. You don't see any stars, but you see the moon. And as you look about, would you like to continue going through, or would you like to camp in the area you found?
Ryoka's gonna pull the horses up to a good-looking spot and halt them.
Okay, just make a quick perception check, looking from the seat of the cart, just looking around, see if you can find something.
Natural 20 plus 6.
Can I assist her? Okay, never mind.
All right. Looking about, yeah, you find a small little nook off to the side. It looks to be a flat terrain. It seems to be somewhat dry. It's not perfect. It's not a 5-star hotel, but hey, it's what you can find in the middle of a marsh. As you pull over the cart into this area, it's a bit of a tight squeeze for the horses, but they do eventually get the cart. And as you pull off to the side, making a quick look around, this will be Niram, Rowan, and Ryoka. Please go ahead and make perception checks.
Okay. Oh, jeez.
17.
2.
1 second.
Do you not have any perception modifiers?
Nope, it's
9.
just a straight roll.
Damn.
And Ryoka, what did you get?
17.
So Rowan and Niram, as you both look about, it seems to be a decent spot. No giant slugs, nothing that seems to be wanting to eat your boots or anything else. Ryoka, as you look about, you do see the elements of what looks to be something that is not natural. Definitely seems to be not naturally occurring. You see the sleek outline of something that seems to be hidden in the brush. It just watches you as you pull the cart into this small nook this side.
Have Zorm given me back my dart?
I was about to say, like, as she when she stops the cart,
It's been a few hours.
to them.
She takes the dart and stares at this bush, looking ready to throw it, like trying to find the figure exactly, and then chucks the dart.
Keep in mind, he hasn't told her what he's done with it.
No, she's just gonna throw the dart.
So as you kind of toss it in your hand, you look out there and you bring it out and release the dart. Go ahead and make an attack roll.
Watch her hit.
I love how I have +6s in all my attack rolls.
Watch
That's
dog Zard.
That is a 18. Wait,
As
no.
you take the dart and you see as it impacts into this creatureoid form, and as you notice, the form is not natural, and as it reels, you do see the creature. It looks to be the small and similar essence of one of these swamp beasts. And you see as its sleek form kind of reels back from the hit, almost as if it'd just been shocked. And then it looks over at your direction, and it immediately turns back and starts scampering back into the bush. And you hear it slopping off into the marshy terrain, further into the trees. And as it does so, you see the dart actually almost like using the force, and it comes right back into your hand. You kind of have to catch it like a bad catch in football, and you kind of
Not expecting it.
yeah. It's like you kind of tumble over the side because you see it flying back at you, and then you just stick your head out and catch it. And as you like open one eye, just seeing it in your hand, you're like, oh, neat.
That's pretty cool.
Wait, what happened?
Yeah, you can thank me for it later.
He made my dart magical, and now it returns to me. Now I don't have to worry about getting more darts.
Oh, that's
Oh,
cool.
I just forgot to say. Now it also has a +1 bonus to attack rolls and damage.
So I get a +7 and a +5.
Jeez.
I feel like Ryoko's just gonna keep buffing that one dart over and over and over again.
Till it does like
Ah.
400 damage.
In the end, you're gonna have a Vorpal dart. You hit a crit with it, and you just decapitate something.
Adam, what did I miss since I was gone?
Well, apparently the magic is what? A mixture of purple and brownish magic if viewed with detect magic. And we've pulled up to a camp. Ryoka has thrown a dart into a bush. There was something in there that scampered off, and the dart has returned to her due to Zorm's magic, and that's it, I guess.
Thank you.
So, as this happens, you start setting up your camp. Who would like to form the 3 watch? First watch, second watch, and third watch.
I'll take the last watch.
Okay.
Rowan will take the first watch, being too paranoid to sleep yet.
All right. Being too paranoid to sleep, you'll take first watch. Go ahead and make a perception check for me. Who will take second watch?
I'm back. I can take second watch.
All right, we'll take second.
How many nat ones have I rolled already? Is this my
I-
4th one?
Oh, good lord.
No, hold on.
We're taking all
I
of
don't
his
know if I'm
luck.
gonna roll. 12?
As you are looking about through the swamp, just keeping a tally as everybody's setting their things up. About hour and a half into your watch, you're just strolling about. It's a small fire, but as you look about, you see figures trudging through the swamp, not carrying a light, but they do seem to be armed. As you see them just almost wading their way through the swamp without a care.
Am I able to tell what they are?
Make a perception check again.
Hey, 17.
17. So, as you're looking about, these definitely look humanoid. And to get a better look at them, because they're maybe about 60, 70 feet off from you in the swamp covered by the trees and other bushes, but you were able to see them because they aren't seeming to make a care. Like, there's some noise coming from them. They don't seem to have any hazard for stealth or trying to sneak. But they do look humanoid, and they look very skinny.
Alright. Rowan would just, silently go to the closest person to him. I don't know who that would be.
We'll say for this instance, go ahead, roll a D8.
D8. 4.
You go over and you actually just kind of poke Clyde in the ribs. He's kind of, and you see the Clyde's form just kind of stir from the cart as you walk over, just kind of jam your thumb into his side. Clyde, you are rudely awoken as you see a familiar form of Rowan. As you wake up, just kind of ready to hit somebody for waking you up. But you do look over and you see Rowan has just decided to wake you.
He just puts his finger over his mouth, like in a shushing motion, before pointing over to where the 3 creatures are at.
Beth, did your sister go AFK?
Simple range.
I'm still here.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Okay. Well, Clyde, this is to you. You were just jabbed in the side as Rowan woke you up.
Yeah. What do you want?
He just puts his finger over his mouth in a shushing manner, right? He doesn't make any noise, but he just points over to where the other creatures are. Like the 3 creatures, humanoid creatures that he spotted.
Clyde would kind of just like crane his neck to look over and just blink a couple of times, look at him, and just being like, "Why did you wake me up?"
He lets out a silent sigh before moving over to Valis, waking him up.
Still asleep.
Waking him up. We're trying to.
After failing with Clyde, you walk over to Vullis and you just poke him the same way you did Clyde. Vullis, you feel a sharp kind of twinge as someone pokes you right in the ribs, and you kind of judder awake, almost drawing your weapon. But you see the familiar form of Rowan there.
I do the same thing once again, just shushing and pointing.
He looks over. It's like, presumably he can see where the 3 figures are or not.
No, with help from as Rowan's pointing, you can get an idea of where it is. Yeah. And you do see 3 figures about 60, 70 feet off. And they are relatively thin. And you see they are humanoid. And they're just trudging through the muck.
What do you want me to do? Go investigate it or some shite?
Just, I don't know, be on alert,
Yeah,
be ready to wake the rest up. Gotta go check what it is. I would say that he just
Fine,
slowly
just go.
and as stealthily as possible get closer to get a better view.
So I would like you to go ahead and make a stealth check. And Vullis, are you going with him?
You know, let's skirt sure. I have
15.
means to wake people up without having to be close.
All right. Both of you go ahead and make a stealth check, please.
I rolled a 15, 10 plus 5.
I rolled a 17.
Interesting. All right. So, as you look about, you attempt to make your way quietly through the swamp. No seeming attention's paid. And you see as the three figures, as you get closer to them, they don't even look in your direction. They're just facing straight ahead. As you get closer and you look, I'd like both of you to go ahead and make a perception check one more time. I'll do at advantage because you are closer to them and you both do have dark vision.
All right.
6 and dirty 20.
See, it's. Let me just roll real quick. Perception, you said, correct?
Yes, perception.
Has no one waken me up?
No,
Nope.
they woke up Clyde
Glass
and
is
then they
still
woke up Volus.
Wait, can Clyde go with them?
I guess that's fine because I was messing with my character sheet.
Rowan was specifically targeting those he knew could see as well as him, which is why he decided to avoid the Dragonborn and the human. He doesn't know about
I
Dragonborns,
have gotten a 23.
so 20, 23 for me. It's a 20 for me.
Okay. So as you get closer, you actually see as they're marching by, you see a familiar bone-like structure to these. You see these are familiar to you. You've seen these before. These are the skeletons you would run into underneath the dungeon. You see as these skeletons seem to be made of almost a gem-like construct. And as you look at them, one of them seems to have a dull red tint, another a dull green, and one of them, again, another dull red.
Hmm.
Rowan just lightly pales as he backs off slowly. He's not like going in a hurry. He doesn't want to be spotted. He just slowly backs off back towards the camp, trying to wake the other people.
He kind of. Valus takes a moment to kind of look to his palm, wondering if anything has any form of reaction to these as he's now closer.
You're looking closer, and what are you looking at precisely?
He's like he's taking a quick glance to his palm, the one that where the orb of light had, took its place.
All right.
Wondering if there's any reactions to being closer to these constructs, which are obviously look like they're made by the sorcerer.
As you look at your palm, you see the little festering black spot is still the same. And to you, it has not moved. It hasn't changed. It's not pulsing. It's not moving. Nothing.
He kind of whispers over to. I'm trying to remember the name.
Clyde.
Rowan, I believe. Clyde?
Yep, Rowan.
Rowan. Okay. We might want to just keep alert. Just. I doubt he sent these things to go kill us, at least so soon.
Speak for yourself. I annoyed the fuck out of him. He probably just wants me dead.
So what happens when you fuck around with people who obviously have a lot of power behind them? We already did that enough
I
with
thought he was a
Lane.
cop.
All right. You know, not I said anything, but at the same time, just make sure you sleep with one eye open.
You think I'm ever going to sleep after this? And he proceeds to immediately fall asleep.
As Rowan walks off, Volus, you have an instinct to look over your shoulder, and as you do, you see a smaller, almost humanoid size of the figure you had seen beneath, down in the dungeon. And you see the same pale ashen gray skin, but a red robe. You see this seems to be one of the servants. And it looks at you and speaks softly. It seems to be speaking in a language you don't understand, but you seem to understand it. You don't know why. And as it does, my master has no more use for you. This will soon become his. You are of little consequence to him. If you wish to keep your end of the bargain to his, the recommended would be for you to leave quickly. You see as a skeletal smile curls across this decrepit figure's face. And as soon as you look away back towards the party and back at him, he's gone.
At least he was serious about that word of warning. Thoughtful of him to at least send someone to confirm. He does, though, soon enough he does return back to waiting till the morning since, truth be told, he just needs his trance due to his elven, like, I'm trying to remember the park by heart, but uh, trance. He had been on a trance.
All right.
Are those
So,
three figures there still? Just out of curiosity. I know the messenger's gone, but are the three figures also there, or
you still see them. They are still
have they
tramping their
disappeared?
way through the swamp. They are still in front of you and open. They're maybe about 30, 40 feet from you and open.
All right, just wanted to know.
So, would you like to stay up for a second watch, or are you going to head to sleep and pretty much let no watch continue?
Who was the one that was meant for second watch?
It's me.
Eh, nah, he'll stay up.
All right. Go ahead, make another perception check as you decide to stay up because you weren't allowed to sleep from this instance of debauchery, as Rowan just seemed to wake you up and then leave.
Okay, that's 15 plus 4, so 19.
As you look about and you continue watching, through your watch, since it was only about an hour and a half through the first watch, you took up the slack. So you're pretty much watching from just about 10 o'clock all the way till about 2 o'clock in the morning. And as this happens and you see him walk forward, you see more of these parties. You see these three skeletal figures tromping through the swamp. No direction except straight. And they just continue moving forward.
Does keep a caution about him, at least with these so-called structures or constructs. Um, but he does stay awake for the sake of the party, and well, what else is the term I'm looking for? If they get close, he does will try to wake one of them, but if not, he'll let them have a peaceful, at least night, despite the constant horrors, as you could say, of these constructs emerge.
All right. But you do and continue watching. None of them seem to encroach on you. They all just seem to be moving in their own direction. So,
That's good.
as your watch eventually does start coming to an end, uh, would you like to wake somebody else up for third watch? Because that would be waking up Zora.
He kind of attempts to flick Zorm on the forehead, just to try to wake him up.
Yeah, Zoram, as you sleep, you feel a thwack of somebody flicking you right in the forehead to wake you up. It's kind of, damn it. You look ahead and you see the familiar figure of Bolus before you.
I thought someone else was watching, but alright.
Turns out we swapped places because no one wanted to wake me up early. Anyways, have a good watch. Just if those constructs, he says, like kind of pointing out some that at least pass by. If you get close, just let me know. But aside from that, we do have to make our way out of here as soon as we can.
I'll take that as a note.
Thank you. And he says before finding a place to go trance again.
So, as you are awoken, Zor, go ahead and make a perception check as it's your turn for the late to morning watch.
Sorry, I'm just trying to find my character sheet. I don't know where it went. Apparently, I accidentally closed it. Perception is still loading for some reason. There we go. Perception plus 4. So that's a 19.
Okay. Your watch seems to go without a hitch. You don't see anything. Everything seems quiet. Everybody seems to sleep until the morning. And it's fairly nice.
I don't remember if this happened or not. Did we have a magic item on us or no? Was that the other campaign?
That was the other one.
Okay. Then I don't think I can do anything. I was gonna use identify on it, but
Wrong character. The wrong character you're thinking of there. The item you had there would have no correlation with the campaign here. So,
He
as
reaches
this
through the cosmos.
as this continues and eventually the sun does break through the canopy, you see as your party starts to stir and awaken. Volus, as you wake up, you just get this sense that that was probably good information. You should probably take off. From what you had seen the night previous, you probably should.
Well, I do know one thing. Godblane's gonna be in the bitch and a half mood if he ever comes across us again. He says as he wakes up a bit after, at least. Once the sun has came up, but he was making sure everything was ready to depart.
Right? So, as that is continued, you all find yourselves awoken, albeit by other people waking you up or by yourself and your natural alarm. As you all load back into the cart, groggy, getting into your ration bags and chewing on dried bits of meat and fruit. As the driver of the cart gets in, who will be driving today?
I suppose Naren will take the reins again.
All right. Go ahead and make a animal handling check. Say you've done this enough to do it at advantage. Go ahead, do it.
Thank you, because the first roll was a natural one. That's an 18. 16 plus
What
2.
is it with you guys and having badly weighted dice?
I don't
Good
know.
lord.
I'm rolling on Tabletop
One
Simulator.
campaign we have horribly weighted dice, and another one we have good weighted dice.
It's
just-
because the other one you guys can't roll lower than an 18, and in this one you guys can't roll higher than a 5. So
I can't
Weirdly
roll higher
enough.
than a 5.
That poor drow, though, got messed up.
Yeah, we kind of destroyed those drow with
To
our
be fair, they
rolls.
deserved it.
In
How
any case,
dare
I
you.
guess Valis just goes next to Nam just in case if he ever wants to, swap rings. And plus, he preferably likes the front seats.
right
Alright.
now, as you all continue on your way past, you actually see a familiar figure. As you actually look onto the road, you see a small cart with a relatively large but bulky-looking horse. Continuing on, you see on the head of this cart, as you pull out onto the road and start continuing on, you see a familiar, beaming smile as this figure seems to recognize you. It almost reminisces of someone who thinks they know you, but they don't. And as it gets closer, you see almost plastered in a bright red and gold robe a familiar draconic figure continuing on in his cart, loaded and bared with multiple sacks of cloth and daggers and what looks to be the familiar sound of clinking of glass of
Oh no, it's him!
Him!
As you look behind, you see the familiar figure of someone who had sold you once before your supplies before heading out of Point's Drop. Seeing a red dragonborn with a toothy, beaming smile, seeming to recognize you. And he
Should I be
sticks his
scared?
hand up and waves towards you.
No,
She
just
travels
turns back.
between dimensions.
Who's that? Do you know them?
Oh, I don't
No.
think so.
Weird.
You get the sense that this is a traveling merchant man, and he seems to think he knows everybody so he can sell them something. That's the gist of what you can possibly comprehend from this.
I'd like to approach him.
You're currently in the
no.
cart. His cart's
I
following
just-
up behind you.
I just call out from the card. Why are you following us? Did he send you?
Riker gives him a prompt smack for freaking out.
Yeah, Road, as you turn around and start asking that, you just gotta bam, get a backhand across the back of the head from Ryoka. And it makes you kind of like, damn it. Kind of look back at her and kind of grumble. As this figure takes
Don't
it
stop
almost with a
hitting me.
stride,
I will.
sees
If you don't
the
stop hitting me,
smile
I
looks a
will
bit-
throw you off the cart.
Yeah, the smile looks a bit confused
Try.
and concerned until eventually comes back to its full broad smile. And he goes, "Hey, what do you mean? I'm not following anybody except myself and the gold they have. Don't need to worry about a thing."
If you have a sense for coin,
I love this character so much.
huh? He does offer a small wave, but of course with his free hand, his hand that isn't weirdly.
Okay.
As
You
he's-
offer your wave back, and you see as this red draconic figure nods. As your continuation of the cart, he seems to follow you almost in a caravan line, staying a decent distance away from you, respecting you. But eventually, after just about maybe 7 or 8 hours of travel, it becomes about 4-ish, 5 o'clock in the afternoon. You see off in the distance along the familiar rocky coast you had once seen before, of Point's Drop off in the distance, maybe about another half day's travel. You can continue if you wish. You can travel through the night and make it there, or you can stop for the night and camp for the afternoon. What would you guys like to do?
As we're riding, I would like at some point to attempt to cast Puppet on Ryoka whenever she isn't looking at me.
Make a sleight of hand check. Ryoka, make a perception check, please.
Got +6 in perception. Let's go.
This is gonna be good.
This is gonna be stupid,
22.
and I'm all for it.
15 for me.
Ryoka, you are constantly keeping a vigil because you have this creeping suspicion, like the hair on the back of your neck is standing up. And every time you look about, your eyes travel over to Rowan, and you see him just stop something, and almost like a Mr. Bean moment, where he just kind of looks over, like, "You don't, nothing to see here. Just doing myself."
I will still cast it, just even though she looks at me. Just, it's a somatic component, and I would like my somatic component to just be a middle finger.
Okay. Ryoka, as you meet eyes with Rowan, you just see him bring his hand up and do a familiar gesture of his fist pointed out at you with his middle finger extended.
She returns the favor.
And with that, I would like to cast Puppet on her.
Alright, and for Puppet, what kind of a saving throw is it?
It's a Constitution saving throw.
Ryoka, please go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw.
Aren't monks like proficient in that?
I don't know.
Not my monk. Not yet.
He's just here. I don't know.
That's a 15.
Yep, nothing happens.
So as you pump your finger out at her, and you feel this almost magical aura emanate from you, Ryoka, you feel something different for a moment, and you look at him and you just squint and flex, and all of a sudden the feeling you were feeling is gone.
Does she know he cast a spell?
Make an insight check.
That is a... What's my insight? Plus first. 17. 22.
From what you can tell, it's definitely an odd way to cast a spell, just the middle finger out to you. However, you have seen weirder. You get the sense the feeling that had come over you is definitely one of a ne'er-do-well attempt.
Would I know what he was trying to do?
Make a perception check first. See if you were paying attention to
this. That's 21.
You see the essence of Rowan pumping a middle finger out, and then Ryoka returning the gesture.
Ryoka would... How close is Rowan to her?
We're in the same cart.
Yeah, you're in the same cart.
Ryoka would promptly reel back and go to sock him in the nose.
Go ahead and make an attack roll.
I'm gonna give this man brain damage.
As if he doesn't have
like he doesn't already.
Damage.
Right back.
21 to hit.
Iris, you're saying this like he doesn't already.
All right.
21 to hit,
So,
Rowan.
you all just watch as Rowan pumps out a finger. Ryoka pumps hers back, and then all of a sudden you just see this offended look from Ryoka, who brings her middle finger back, forms it into a fist, and plows it right into Rowan's face.
I give it a 10 for...
Okay, anger
I will be right back. My pizza's here.
You
Seems that
Game, you hit him so hard you made him go AFK.
You just see Rowan
Damage
just sit
by
there,
life.
blank
You hit
stare.
him so hard you start hearing the dial-up tone.
Yes, I was
rolled-
about to say that.
I rolled for damage and I did 8 points of damage.
Jeez. Isn't that max damage?
Yeah, that's max damage.
Holy shit.
Oh Christ!
and
Alright,
that
so as you
man
bring
got
your hand
clogged
back,
in the nose.
you put more than
It's T-posing.
You put more knuckle into it than you mean to, and you watch as you drive your fist right into the nasal bone and just pretty much break his nose. You're lucky you didn't shove the bone back into his brain, but you swung your fist just right to where you just broke the nose outright.
You just hear this like horrendous crack in the background. Now he like jumps a bit and he's like, what happened?
Near him, as you look back, you see his Rowan like, son of a, holding his nose that's bleeding profusely now. As you see Ryoka standing there with bloody knuckles. Seems
suppose you had it
something
coming.
All not try to kill each other, please.
Yeah, I did it once on accident. Everyone shunned me for it.
You almost had a
Tried
bit
to
of
cast a
fire.
spell on me.
Okay, I'm back. I have.
By the way, I rolled max damage. You took 8 points of damage, and your nose is now broken.
Okay.
All right.
I'm like looking down at my hand, looking up at Rowan, looking down at my hand, debating whether it's worth using a cure wounds on him.
He tried casting a spell on me. He deserved it.
Everybody gangster to the bard on the small card cast Thunderwave.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Oh no. Please don't.
Please, I beg you.
I think it's time for the rage.
You
Can
know,
we
I think I have a bet. I
Can
think
we
I have a
not
better
try
solution than
and kill
some.
each other for once?
For once. Jeez.
I think we're actually capable of doing that.
No, I just
To
look.
the bard, yes.
I feel.
Ryoka looks at Ronan and is just like, do you want me to, like, you know, fix your nose?
8 damage, right?
Yeah, 8 damage. I assume Ryoka's has fixed a broken nose before, you know, like crunching
Yes.
it back into place.
You have fixed a broken nose before. If you want, go ahead and make a medicine check.
Ryoka just goes up to him without any consent and just puts her hands on his nose and goes to try and fix it.
Make a medicine check.
All right, I got a +4 medicine. That
That
is
is
a dirty 20.
About to say that doesn't mean
Okay,
shit.
question.
You roll a
Have
1.
you rolled anything under like a 15 this entire campaign?
I think she has.
Rolled
has
a
on
1
a few.
at the beginning.
All right.
of the
As you
campaign.
grab onto Rowan's head, Rowan tries to struggle with it, but you just hold it there, and all of a sudden, you just kind of, with an audible, you crack his nose back into position. Rowan, it hurts like hell, and you're like, ah, son of a bitch. But you do get back 4 points of, you get 4 points back as Ryoka realigns your nose.
Hey, you can smell again. Kinda.
Yeah, the only thing you smell now is
Smell.
blood.
Your
Well,
nose is still
basically
broken,
smells iron.
but it's put back into place.
I just once again give her a middle finger, this time without any magical effect behind it, and just crumble off.
She smirks,
Guys,
very pleased with her work, and sits, crosses her arms and leans back and just winks at him like, "Don't fuck with me."
I'm just gonna try to puppet you off the ship next time.
Do you say that?
No, because we don't even know that we're gonna get on a ship yet.
Anyways, let's continue our journey back to a place where to deal with with that one pirate folk.
Okay.
I'm gonna kind of look at my bag and just start debating on things.
So don't you want to take a rest, or should we set up camp
I'd rather
for today?
we go through.
All right. Sorry, horse, but suppose we're in for the long haul. And yeah, we set forward onto our journey again.
All right, so continuing on through the evening, you decide not to encamp. You actually see as the cart behind you actually does pull off to the side. You see some semblance of what looks to be some sort of a. You've seen Zoram do this before, but you see almost like a runic inscription as his hands start working in these very large, almost arcane circle, and he works his way around his cart. That's just as you crest over the hill and turn over and you watch it. He gets back onto his cart and you see as he pulls something out, but it's too far away at that time to tell what it is. As you continue on through the evening, you do eventually, just about 11 o'clock, get to the outer steads of the small port town of Point's Drop. The familiar sound in the distance of drunken singing, calls, fights, sword fights, cheer, music, and the sound of breaking glass fills and echoes from out of the town.
I have one question. In what state is the horse and the cart in right now?
What time is it about now, you said?
No, in what state are the horse and the cart in?
The cart looks like it could use some repair. The horses definitely look tired. Again, they're draft horses meant to do this, but they're slogging you through muddy roads carrying relatively hefty creatures. They're carrying 2 dragonborn, a half elf, and they're all you all have your armor, your equipment, your rations, everything else you've taken, and the cart that they have to pull through muddy roads.
Just
So
wait till they have to carry 100 buckets.
Jeez.
yeah, they definitely look tired.
Yeah, Narum is just gonna turn around to everyone. Okay, guys, I'm sorry, but we did get this cart as a loan, so we kind of have to give it back.
Frank just shrugs.
It's fine. We could probably, with our Ilgon games, we could probably buy our own cards.
I guess. Or maybe we could just buy this one off. Maybe.
Maybe get a new Steve. No offense to the one that we're using right now, but
You just see
one
Narum
for
look over
March
to the horse.
suited.
He didn't mean it, horse. He didn't mean it.
And you just kind of see the horses just kind of go kind of a noise to you.
Yeah.
I mean,
Ryoka just
every
hears this and is just like, if we're lucky, we won't need another horse or a cart. I want to get off this island.
So do I. So do I. Fuck
Oh,
that,
you don't like
Mr. C.
So
What am I doing? Like, okay, really quick out of character notes. I'm a bard. I should have just tried to seduce him.
You want to seduce a horse. Wait, what?
Not the
No.
horse. The undead sorcerer.
bards will be bards. Bards will be bards.
Yes, they will be.
So that's where centaurs came from.
Oh Christ! Please don't.
God.
I mean, that explains all of the half-piece creature things.
Moving on.
Okay.
What the hell
Anyone
was
coming
that?
with to the stable hound or?
I'll
Should-
go with you, Narum.
Okay. Let's go.
If you guys near the captain or the tavern, at least.
Actually, I'll go with you, Narum.
Okay. Well then, let's go. And Narum just takes the horse by the reins, leads it towards the direction of the stable that we rented from. I rented it from.
All right. So, taking the horse and the cart, leading that back into town, as the others dismount, heading their way to a relatively decent establishment that they probably know of.
Before they go, could Rowan go off looking for some kind of smith or armor maker?
You can certainly try. Go ahead and make an investigation check.
Oh God. Investigation. 5.
It seems to be relatively, sort of say, dark out tonight. It's not dark enough to where it's like, oh, it's trouble to find anything. No, it's more of you're just having a trouble because everything seems to be closed. And what isn't being like jammed in the street by crowds of people, all in almost different uniforms of red on blue, blue on red, and almost different colors in general. As you attempt to shove your way through, in some cases you just can't. And it seems this is a relatively large but small town. But it's definitely, you could probably find something here. You just need to look a bit harder when the streets weren't crowded.
I just shrug, walking with the rest of the party towards.
All right. So you head back over to the party?
Yep.
And it is
It's too crowded out there.
eventually near him, you do find the small halflings establishment of a general store. You return the cart and the horse. The halfling does kind of look a bit odd at you as to see how ragged you've run the horses and just how badly you've treated the cart. But he does only charge you about 7 silver pieces.
All right, for the troubles that I've put his horse and his property through, Narum will not only give him the silver he owes him, he will instead give him 2 gold pieces and say, you know, didn't really want to ride it so ragged, but couldn't really do anything else. So, yeah, here you go. Hope it at
He
least
takes the
recoups a
coins
bit of
from
it.
you and bites into one of them, making sure that they're actually gold. And then he nods and puts them. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. It always helps out when you pay a little bit more.
Well,
Let's quickly go to a store or like one of those places where they sell mainly accessories.
So, and as you all travel your way back in through the town, who's ever shaking dice, stop it, or I'm gonna fucking ban you.
Someone
as-
likes to hear the math rocks go clink.
Let's go clink.
They like to hear the weights in.
In the weighted die.
But yeah, great. Mind if Valis tries to see if he can, looking in his inventory, he does have some gold rings. He wants to sell off one of them at least.
All right.
Oh,
So-
jeez.
Looking at the rings, and which rings exactly are you looking at?
The only rings I have, it says they're just gold rings, 100 GP each. Is what I've written.
So make a. This will
Unless-
just be make a wisdom or intelligence. Make an intelligence check.
Oh, okay. This is good. My intelligence is the highest thing I have. Hey, I critted.
All right. Looking over this, these 2 rings that you found, they seem to be in a decent condition. No real scratching to them. They don't seem to be of any real importance, but they do look relatively well made. You can definitely use them for an essence of barter, trade, or sell. They seem to be worth
Well,
roughly about what you think.
okay. I have in my notes that it was 4, not 2. That's fine. I want to
Yeah,
ask.
it's all right.
I had the 2 stones, a ruby, and 4 rings. And I
The
think
rings all
that's
seem
what
to
I'm
be
putting.
relatively the same value. Just 2 of them seem to be a little bit better made. The other 2 seem to be just something that somebody just kind of found that maybe was worth. You know those kind of fake rings you find off in the jewelry store and say, that looks
Ah.
close enough.
I also have something called a scroll Pedigree, but I don't know what that is.
A scroll of pedigree is something that says, "Hey, I'm a noble."
All right.
Cool.
It's like, "Hey, I am the son of blank, who is the owner of blank, who holds the title of blank for blank X years, and has served under blank of whoever the hell it is." Essentially, it's
Okay.
like, "Hey, I'm a noble."
It's just a flex. It's a
Alright.
note that allows you to flex.
Yeah, so guess I'm keeping that secured. I guess I want to sell two of the not so high quality rings just because I rather want to keep these higher ones just in case we
Yeah.
actually need money.
You get the sense that the area around the town, other than the taverns, is pretty much closed. The only thing that you were lucky to have, from Nirm's point of view, is that the general store was just about to close. Like, you may be about 5-6 minutes early.
Okay.
But
All right.
other than that, it seems the town is lively and everything is very pleasant. As you hear the familiar of a gunshot off in the distance, and another fight ensues further on down in another alleyway.
You know what I think that sounds like? It sounds like something that's not our problem.
Agreed. Let's head to the tavern and at least tell them that we were done with Lord Blaine stuff.
We can go, talk to Captain in the morning. I just want to go sleep now.
All right.
Key,
So,
I forgot my background for a second, and now that I realize it, oh boy.
Oh jeez. 1 second. What is that from? Okay, sorry.
can somebody stop, please?
Who was that?
Who was what?
Swear to God, once I figure out who did it, I'm gonna ban you.
Did what?
Who did what?
Jesus Christ, I just got fucking scared.
Yeah, I got fucking.
Who did what?
Someone rickrolled us in D&D.
Yeah. Please don't forget that
See, I
DMCA still
have
exists.
Rhythm muted, so like I don't.
Yeah, I have both
hear
rhythm
it.
and groovy
It's
muted, and it's still
wow.
played. Someone used one of the tablets in, I think, tabletop.
Yeah,
Yeah,
somebody used one of the tablets.
I'm believing it's game.
Jesus.
Why me?
It's either
Why?
game or
Because I
Poppy.
saw you trying to open a bunch of links to YouTube.
No.
Yes.
I can't do
I
this.
have
You
to
hit
test
my
them.
poor heart.
Game, we
Do
all
it,
saw
bro.
it.
First Grape, and then
Now it's
you.
Grape.
Really? No, Grape
I
gifted a
went
tier
home.
2 sub. Freaking, I got scared from that as well. Cause geez.
Think of it as an apology.
As an apology? No. You don't need to apologize for anything.
Not yet.
Now I'm scared.
Word you never
As
wanted
you
to
all
hear him say.
coalesce around yourselves and finding the nearest bar or tavern that seems to be open, you see a very large establishment. It seems to be about 2 stories tall. You see the front of it decorated with what used to be fine columns and almost very finely decorated. However, it definitely seems to have seen better days. As you see, there are about a dozen crossbow bolts, throwing axes, sword marks, everything peppering the front side of this tavern. And as you look at it and stand before it, you see the top window of what looks to be almost like a 3rd floor is crashed open as you see a man in a red on blue jacket is thrown from the window. And you see he impact into the ground and sloshes into the mud, unmoving.
Can I just lightly tap it with the tip of my foot, just, check if it's alive?
You tap it. Seems to be he's not in rigor mortis, so he's possibly alive.
Can I put a finger before his nose and try to check if there's any type of breathing going on?
Make a medicine check.
A what check?
A medicine check.
All right. Oh god. That is a 9. Have I rolled anything above like a 10 today?
I think so.
I think that one stealth check, but that's about it. Everything else has been below 10. Alright, well, 9.
9. Doesn't really seem to be breathing. He seems to be unconscious, but you do eventually feel a little like intake of air. Seems to be unconscious.
Who's unconscious?
Can I lightly slap
The
his
guy
face?
who was just
Body that
thrown through
just
the window
fell
of the
from a
third story of a
two-story
tavern.
window.
Oh, I'm with Narum, so like I don't think, yeah.
Can I lightly slap the side, one of his cheeks?
You go over and just kind of. He is out cold.
Alright, well, I would like to strip him down and take his clothes.
Why?
Wow!
All right.
That escalated quickly.
That went from 10. That went from 10 to 100 real quick.
I just want the clothes.
Valis
As
just looked
you-
over
as
at
you
Ron like,
Reach down and
I even have your sizes.
starting to strip this individual before you. Good lord. As you pull the clothes
Damn,
off,
Rowan.
you all watch. Eventually, this will be Ryoka's room. Eventually, you guys do come up, and that's just when you see he's pulling the pants off of this pirate.
Yeah, I think Rowan is just playing morality limbo. So,
Rowan is taking anything he can.
And
Ronan,
he's just like,
do you want to take that to a room, perhaps?
No, I just want the clothes. You never know when you'll need them.
bro,
I don't think you're telling the truth right now, Ronan. I think you're being really cute.
Okay, does this seem normal to you?
inside check. Great. Can I really roll insight to see who's lying?
You can go ahead. What?
Why?
15
Do you
on
want
insight,
help
just in case.
Getting the
Is he
sleeping man
For
to
the
a room.
entire party.
I just want the clothes.
That doesn't look like what you're doing right now.
What does it look like I'm doing?
It looks like you're about to fuck the corpse.
Is he dead?
You know,
Yes, he
I
is. That's
prefer the
why it's so
warm-
concerning.
I prefer my body's warm, so this it will get cold. It will get cold soon, so I prefer the light thing. Anyways, can you guys just let me strip the dead man in peace, please?
Yeah,
The
sure.
game
Ryoka
rolls to
promptly
sleep.
walks away. Just goes into the tavern.
Valis is just out here, just like trying not to make too much of a mess before going inside the tavern.
Zora's just gonna walk right
Can
past.
I add the clothes to my inventory?
That's a line right there. I prefer my body's warm. That's great.
Can I add the clothes to my inventory?
Them, right?
All right. So, as you eventually find yourselves inside of the tavern,
Okay, really quick, what color were the clothes? The party clothes?
as I had stated when he flew out the window, He is a red on blue. So that means the jacket is red, but the outline is in blue.
Alright, perfect.
Imagine if this guy isn't dead and he just wakes up.
Completely naked.
Listen, yeah, there's signs of breathing, so probably.
Oh wait, that doesn't help
Poor
the
man's
fact that he
gonna
likes
wake-
this.
Poor man's gonna wake up.
Yes,
so
it
sad.
doesn't. The only thing I can say that will top this off is if this pirate just wakes up while Rowan mid like undressed,
Mid-strip.
he just says something like, "At least buy me a drink first." Holy shit, or something like that.
Make it end.
Please.
I couldn't do it.
So, as you find your way inside after discussing and prodding on Rowan, you turn about, and as you enter, you see the bar and tavern is pretty much ablaze with energy. You see there are people sharing drinks. There are individuals who are singing drunkenly. You see there's a fist fight in the back. You see that there are weapons being drawn elsewhere. You see those at the bar are currently lifting their drinks as someone slides underneath them. You see a relatively old-looking gnome with a tuft of white hair that just puffs all around. Is currently working frantically, grabbing drinks from behind on the bar and just pouring them and sending them out across each and every patron that comes to the bar. You watch as from the up top above the just the essence of where the chandelier would be, you see hanging from the chandelier looks to be a pirate in the green and yellow as a different crew, currently draped over the chandelier. You see as a sword is lodged into the wall to the right. And as you all just kind of congeal around yourselves, watching all this frantic energy spilling out across the tavern, I think that's where we'll end today's session.
Oh,
More suits for my pirate collection.
Oh Jesus.
A fine
a
addition
bucket
to my
collection.
collection.
he's gonna have a bucket collection and a pirate clothes collection.
No, he's just gonna build a fucking bucket megazord.
Ah, yes, a bucket Megazord. Its sole purpose is to strip every pirate. Or some
Yes!
shit like that, knowing him.
This is like after every fight, you just see him drag the corpses off into a alleyway.
I thought that was Rowan's job.
I heard you like warm bodies.
Like my body's war.
Jeez,
Like
that was.
my bodies.
I thought it was Rowan's job to do that.
What, to keep the bodies warm?
No, well, yes, but
I mean, you know, as a bard, I do keep bodies warm.
Hey, Behemoth, what's nuggies?
Imagine chicken nuggets. That's it.
It's all they are.
Yeah, it's just. I wanted a funny name for my channel points, and I thought nuggets are funny.
Nuggies.
Okay, well you have
The nuggets, all the nuggets. I currently have 2.6 thousand.
I hold.
I am
infinite
saving.
nuggets.
I am saving them up just so I can get some German.
Oh jeez.
you know what my
I will
favorite
have
part
it
about
in-
this section was?
I will have
These
an
dice.
entire session of Nero speaking German.
I mean, if you want me to.
My favorite part about this session is watching those dice spaz out.
Oh yeah. Wait, there was like 3 dice that were just roaming around. I don't know what happened.
They've evolved into like 7.
Oh, God.
Did they just ascend?
Look at them.
Did those just ascend into fucking oblivion?
They just.
Wait, how do you ascend into oblivion? Hold up.
If you go far enough up, you go back down. It's cartoon logic.
Okay, really quick. I will now do an instructive tutorial on how to make infinitely floating dice, okay? I would like you guys to grab 3 dice. Alright?
What kind of
Okay, just-
dice?
I don't think it matters. Does everyone have their 3 dice?
Yes.
All right. Now you go into the combine tool, and you have to go to select spring joint, right? And you connect every dice like back and forth. So you have to make 2 connections between each dice. There you go. And once you do that, you lift them up and you just drop them down into the void, and they should just start spazzing out.
As does everything on this
What happened to
table.
those dice? What happened? What happened to that?
The GM screen got broken by it. What?
GM screen.
Look at the dice. Look at them. They're ascending.
What the fuck?
What just happened?
Wait, I wonder if. Okay,
I don't think Tabletop Simulator can handle all of this.
Really quick, I will be loaning your dice towers. I will be now attempting.
As if
No,
you
don't
guys
take the
didn't
dice
do
tower.
that the entire session
This is my
anyway.
dice
No,
tower.
no, no.
This dice tower belongs to me.
Give me the dice tower. This is for science.
Oh no.
You do science with someone else's dice tower.
Science.
Oh wait, I found the dice tower. That's
Gabe, I
amazing,
can't
right?
wait for the moment you start playing this in VR and you just see freaking floating dice in front of you.
Oh, it's gonna be fantastic, dude. But that means I'm probably gonna have to use the in-game dice if I
Oh,
play it in
jeez.
VR.
Alright, well, time to see if this works. Oh god, I've created something even worse. It's the dice tower vortex. Look under the table.
Oh no.
Oh my god.
I'm
They
so
ascend.
confused with what's going on. Are we
They
continuing?
ascend.
Oh, they're spazzing out. Oh my
Oh
god, it's
jeez. This
It's
is
beautiful.
magnificent.
This is what happens when you figure out how to break the fucking physics of
At
tabletop
first, I
simulator.
th-
Look at them.
At first I thought this session would be disconcerting once we got to the body part. Now I think just this entire
You know what? It's since I gotta take off. I think I'll leave it here with this. I think we'll begin and end every session with Halo 3, the opening and the closing.
Can we
So
do
that
it with
way
just
we know.
dice
Alright.
Things are starting.
floating?
I'm gonna be very sad because I have to mute the bots because else Twitch will just nuke me. But yeah. Yeah,
Well,
I
then-
can just
but you
I
can
can-
listen to it.
yeah, I can
but you can
listen to it
listen
on
to
like a separate browser tab. I should be able to do that without like it showing up on stream. It's
Are
just
the dice towers still floating there? Yeah,
Right.
they are.
now
I
that
actually have things I gotta go get done, so I will. If you guys have questions, DM me, ping me, do anything you need to.
Yeah.
If not,
Oh
I
god.
look forward to seeing
what
you guys
must be
next
done.
weekend.
Guys, the dice
Next
towers have
Saturday.
gained sentient.
oh Jesus.
Why is it every
Thanks,
time
Grape, for
our
the session.
party plays, the board gets destroyed?
Because you people don't know when to stop.
Every time there's like name tags
seeing right
everywhere,
now?
floating dice, twitching dice towers.
I'm
The
just
DM
saying.
board is falling apart.
Hey, I'm just saying this. I feel like out of all the things, out of all the people of the sorcerer's hit list, I think Ryoka or or not Zoram, Rowan are like on the top two just because of what they kept talking about and what they kept paying.
All right, I will see you boys and girls later. Look
Yep.
forward to seeing you there.
It's Saturday yet?
Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Oh god, I am looking at the global chat tabletop simulator, and sometimes I regret things, and this is one of them.
Oh. Hans, get die Flammenwaffe!
Nein, bitte nicht den Flammenwerfer. Alles außer dem Flammenwerfer, bitte. Okay, yeah, no, I'm gonna stop.
Nerm, it's
What's up,
4
what's up?
more days, Nerm.
I
4
know.
more days. 4
I
more
know.
days.
And then we can finally become the cyberpunk.
At 7 o'clock, I'm gonna put 72 hours remain.
Let's see if I have enough money on
I
my
have
bank
good
account to
bad
get
news
it
for you.
immediately.
It's most likely going to be 4 days and, a good 57 years.
Oof.
We all know the release date is going to be 2077.
2077.
Honestly.
It was a trick the whole time.
Oh jeez.
Honestly, when I saw those dice like spazzing and floating around, I was like dying. I could not push my push to talk because I was just like I would be
I was dying as well. I just saw them pass out.
just like because all
You
I
know
was
what
thinking
Hope
of
and Beth
is just the
should do?
Halo theme going on.
What?
Hope and Beth should join that server that I managed to get the rest of you except for Vientus on.
It was beautiful.
Okay, I think I'm gonna swap over to
I
Monster
wish I
now.
was more active on
You guys
it,
wanna
but it's
hang
just
out,
like
or-
I'm just chilling here. I'm just
I don't
chilling.
know what I was gonna do. I want to do something.
I'm
but
chilling
I
like
don't
a
know what.
villain.
Nerm,
Yeah.
do you have Siege?
Nope.
Do you want to play Sea of Thieves?
I could do that.
Ugh.
Why don't we do no else cap?
I actually
Oh
was just playing
jeez.
last
Right.
night. I was just playing
Right.
some
Fucking
Halo.
Poppy, you still have your campaign and you still have some stuff prepared for that.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
I'm too lazy at the moment, though.
Okay.
What's Poppy doing?
Yeah, I've decided to give it a shot.
What's
Right,
Poppy doing?
Running a D&D campaign.
Yeah, he has
Trying my
decided
best
to
at least.
he has decided to start his own thing, and yeah, I don't know about that one.
I don't know.
I
either,
mean,
Chief.
it's going okay so far. It's just yeah, that's gonna be weird. You know what? I think I'm just gonna close the stream out here because I'm still not sure what to do.
I was gonna Google something, but I've forgotten what I was gonna Google,
Oh, he missed.
and I'm just
Yeah.
pissed about it.
I have something to show you. Just on my spare time, I decided to make this.
Uh-oh.
10 out of 10 session on Twitch.
Have a look at that. Just on my spare time, you know.
I have a bad feeling about this one.
I was gonna. I forgot what I was gonna
Oh
Google.
gee. Oh. What?
Behemoth. What?
Yeah, that was your reaction.
Okay, I'm gonna read 4 stats, and I think that explains everything. Con 18, Intelligence 20, Wisdom 18, and Charisma 16. You don't need to know the other stats. Jesus. I just looked at the AC. God,
Who
that's
has those stats?
no.
What AC is it?
22 armor class,
Wait, at what level?
level 6.
Oh,
Who has that?
fuck.
This is just a character I made while I was like really bored one night.
Oh god.
Alright, bye everyone who's watching the stream.